Madam President, I renew my original.
Is there objection? Objection is heard.
Madam President, I believe I have the floor.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, we began this process for the National Defense Authorization Act months ago. In July, working closely with the ranking member and all my colleagues on the committee, we passed a bipartisan National Defense Act, which was focused on the fundamental rationale for our National Defense Act. The men and women of the armed forces, the equipment that they need, the new technology which is absolutely necessary as we go forward, the family lives of these men and women, their development along with the weapons that they will use. This has been the focal point, and as a result, we produced a committee report with a bipartisan majority of 23-3. We've continued this bipartisan approach as we came into the floor debate. We have already included in the substitute amendment which will be offered approximately 60 amendments on a bipartisan basis that cover a range of topics, which have been agreed to by both sides. Again, everything we've done to this point has been on a bipartisan basis. Indeed, this unanimous consent that I have proposed is bipartisan. It incorporates amendments from both my Republican colleagues and my Democratic colleagues. It does so, as we must, in a way that accommodates as many as we can, but we cannot and have never been able to guarantee that every amendment offered could incorporate it into the bill. So what we have here is in a way, a crossroads. We have tried since the very inception to produce a bipartisan bill and a bipartisan floor action and a bipartisan final vote on the National Defense Act, the United States Senate. We have to get there because, again, I can hear my colleagues talk about Nord Stream. That's a very interesting and a very important issue. I can hear them talk about border security. I can hear them talk about forced labor in China. I can hear them talk about illegal immigrants. But ultimately, this is about the men and women who wear the uniform of the United States. And we can't leave them behind. And the proposals tonight may be meritorious, but we have to move forward and give those men and women the tools they need to defend the nation. And again, I can't emphasize enough how working together with my colleague, the ranking member, we have tried at every juncture to be inclusive, to be bipartisan, to recognize as many of the issues as we could. And we have to do that in the context, frankly, of the fact that in the Senate, as has been demonstrated tonight, one person can stand up and say, no, I didn't get what I want, and no one's going to get anything. I think we've done a very good job, frankly, and I might not be objective, in producing a National Defense Act that is, at this juncture, and with these additional amendments, would be more than worthy for final consideration by the Senate. But what is, again, somewhat disconcerting to me is that by analogy, you can talk everything is national defense. But the people who ultimately suffer, if we cannot get to a passage and then deliberations with the House and then a final bill sent to the White House, is not only will these problems that we've tried to address be unaddressed, we will send a very powerful message to the men and women in the armed forces is, we don't have your back. We're too busy squabbling amongst ourselves about issues of the border, of Nord Stream, and of other issues. So I would hope that we could move forward. And the regret is that at this juncture, we are abandoning approximately 20 amendments on a bipartisan basis that would have addressed many of the concerns of my colleagues in the Senate. Some are directly related to national defense, and some are not. But they were agreed to by both sides, and they would be added to this legislation. But at this juncture, our responsibility is, and cannot be avoided, of moving forward, of passing our defense bill, and then working with the House to send up to the President of the United States a bill worthy of the sacrifice and service of those who wear the uniform of the United States. And with that, I would yield to the ranking member.